with fantasy football drafts approaching and different strategies and options fantasy owners want out there. Here's the zero RB strategy. That's when you're not drafting a running back to the 6th round. So pretty much you got to fill out all your team needs before you get to the running back. But obviously I don't recommend this strategy where just looking at this team as I go on, you're going to see the running back room is very weak on my roster. Took the first of 3 mock drafts with the zero RB strategy. 4th pick overall I had in the first one. Went with Justin Jefferson, where actually I do have Justin Jefferson 4th overall, and 5th overall Jahmyr Gibbs in my ranking. So obviously that goes in line what I was going to do. Then 2nd round, A.J. Brown. I took him last season. He was a top 10 pick in most fantasy drafts, and now he's fallen to mid to even late 2nd round like we see here. So I think I got him at a good value where he's ranked 20th coming into the season. But to get him here, obviously A.J. Brown at the 2-9 position. Then 3rd round, like I said, if you're not going to get running backs early, you got to hit on a big-time tight end or a big-time quarterback. And I got Lamar Jackson in the 3rd round. He's pretty much obviously like a running back. Could get 800 to 1,000 rushing yards per season is Lamar Jackson. So I got him in the 3rd. 4th round, DK Metcalf. So I filled out with 3 solid receivers out of the first 4 rounds and Lamar at the quarterback position. Then the 5th round, I went with Sam Laporta, who last season he got off to a slow start, and then he really picked it up in the second half of the year. And obviously in a high-powered offense, plays and points are going to be there for him. Then 6th round, I start the running back attack. I get DeAndre Swift, and believe it or not, DeAndre Swift, he's been a top 24 running back every season throughout his career in points per game for fantasy owners. So Swift, I'm not high on him, but he was the best running back available at this point in the 6th round, going with the zero RB strategy. And then Brian Robinson, I got in the 7th round of this draft. And B-Rob last season was a decent year for him. And Austin Eckler have a timeshare in the backfield, even though Robinson, he is a 3-down back. Not a great catcher of the football out of the backfield, but he still goes out there and he can make some plays, but especially at the goal line where his value is. But to me, he's more of a 3rd or 4th running back for fantasy owners. Then I went to running back again, J.K. Dobbins. 3 rounds in a row I went with running back, and J.K. Dobbins I think is going to start the year as the starter for this Denver Bronco team. I know they got the rookie R.J. Harvey in there this year as Denver, but like I said, Dobbins, he always starts off the year, at least in a committee or as a starter for a team, and we know Sean Payton likes using more than one back. Then 9th round, Cooper Kupp. If you've been watching the channel and all the mock drafts and breakdowns I've been doing, Cooper Kupp, he's been a main staple in a lot of these mock drafts. I just like the value of Kupp, 9th, 10th round range. I still think he has something left in the tank and something left to prove. Then Travis Etienne, I won in the 10th round. Him and Tank Bigsby are going to be the starter. It's just a pretty bad backfield over there overall with this committee and even Tootin possibly getting into things. But Travis Etienne, to get him in the 10th round, the guy who was a 3rd, 4th rounder over the last couple seasons, I'll take obviously a shot and see what he could do. Then Darnell Mooney in the 11th round. Last season was a solid year for Darnell Mooney in his first season with the Falcons, but we'll see what he does this year with Michael Penix at quarterback. Then I took a shot on the rookie, and this is what you do in the later rounds. You take a chance on lottery ticket type of players. Jaden Higgins right now lining up is number 2 wide receiver in training camp with Nico Collins, obviously the 1 and Christian Kirk in the slot. So to take him as a 12th round pick, I don't think's bad. And then to round out, I got DeAndre Swift's handcuff and Roschon Johnson, because Johnson could take over the job at least if Swift isn't in the mix anymore. Johnson I have on the bench and can plug him right in to Swift's spot to the final roster with this first draft from the 4th spot overall with zero RB strategy. Lamar, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Brian Robinson. Obviously not an ideal backfield, but like I said, I'm loaded up at wide receiver and have arguably the best quarterback in fantasy football, him and Josh Allen with Lamar. Then Metcalf at the flex, Dobbins, decent depth off the bench, Cooper Kupp, solid veteran receiver to come off the bench still. I don't think he's totally washed. Travis Etienne still could be the starter, him and Bigsby, I believe, going into the year for this Jaguar team. Darnell Mooney, solid year last year. Jaden Higgins, rookie lottery ticket pick, and Roschon Johnson, obviously, is the handcuff in case Swift loses the job or goes down with injury. Now the next mock with the zero RB strategy. In this one, I had the 8th overall pick, and CeeDee Lamb fell to me 8th overall, which is very surprising. So CeeDee Lamb, to me, he's number 6. in my overall rankings coming into the season is CeeDee Lamb. So it was nice he fell down a couple spots. So I went with him to start this draft. Then Brock Bowers, like I said, if you're not going to have good running backs, try to get an elite tight end or ever you see elite quarterback in those first 5 rounds before you get that running back in the 6th round and after that as well. So then Brock Bowers last year, number 1 tight end in all fantasy football. Took him in the mid-second. Mike Evans, he's been a staple of these mock drafts as well for me, where he's great value in that 3rd, 4th round range is Mike Evans. And to get a 1,000-yard receiver every season in the late 3rd round, I like the value. Davante Adams, he's the number 2 receiver over there behind Puka Nacua. I know Matthew Stafford banged up and he's questionable for week 1 here, but Davante Adams is my 3rd receiver, and even if it's going to be poor quarterback play, I still think he could go out there and get the job done. 5th round, I got Patrick Mahomes. It might have been a little bit of a reach, but I think something's got to give, and it wouldn't be surprised to me if Mahomes breaks out once again this season after losing in the Super Bowl. And obviously this Kansas City Chiefs team, they want to position themselves better for a playoff run this season. So Mahomes, I don't know, Rashee Rice, he's probably going to be suspended the first couple games, but they got Worthy, got Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown still in the mix over there, Pacheco out of the backfield. So it might have been a stretch for Mahomes, but like I said, it wouldn't be surprising if he gets back to form a little bit. Then 6th round, great value, Trevion Henderson, who I think is going to move up the ranking boards and these mock drafts over the next couple weeks before you start drafting before the season. Henderson looked good in the first preseason game. He's got a lot of speed. He's got the explosiveness and a good receiver out of the backfield. So obviously in PPR leagues, he's a great value, especially here in the 6th round. Then the 7th round, I went Tyrone Tracy. I think he'll be the starter for this New York Giant team. And last year he had some big games, no doubt about it. But I know Cam Scatterbo, they drafted with this Giant team. So we'll see how backfield shapes out as the year goes on. Then in 8th round, Jerry Jeudy last season, he had a breakout season in his first year with the Cleveland Browns. We'll see who the quarterback's going to be, Joe Flacco or Shedeur Sanders going into the season. I'll go with the veteran Flacco, and we know Flacco, even up there with age, he has that football out and he gets it to his number 1 target. So Jerry Jeudy to be my 4th receiver to come off the bench, I think solid. Then 9th round, I got Cam Scatterbo, so I got the whole Giants backfield in this draft here, depending who's going to play. And you need depth and you need some handcuffs, especially if you're going to do the strategy. You want handcuffs because say someone goes down and obviously you own the handcuff, you got to start it right into your starting lineup. Then Tajay Spears in the 10th round, I think we'll get decent work with Tony Pollard, possibly a 60-40 or even 50-50 split over there. Then Ray Davis in the 11th round, he's a good handcuff, one of the better handcuff running backs in all pro football. We saw a couple games that Cook missed last season. Ray Davis looked solid, and he put up some points. Then Cooper Kupp, he really fell in this one in the 12th round. When the last mock, I got him in the 9th round. So a lot of people sleeping on Cooper Kupp. And like I said, I know he got cut by the Rams. I know the last 2 seasons, the numbers have dropped off with injuries, and he's definitely lost his step, but still as a depth piece, he's good. And then I closed it out with Luther Burden, first-year rookie, who I think can help the Chicago Bear team and possibly have a big second half for this team as well, where they're going to obviously spread a lot of teams out and have Caleb Williams have all his weapons to his disposal. And Burden, he's a burner, no doubt about it. So the final roster in this mock draft with the 8th pick, Patrick Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Trevion Henderson, Tyrone Tracy, Brock Bowers, Davante Adams, and then my bench, Jerry Jeudy, Cam Scatterbo, Tajay Spears, Ray Davis, Cooper Kupp, Luther Burden. So like I said, wide receiver, I'm very strong. I maximized the tight end position, getting the best tight end in fantasy football. I'm ranked number 1 at the position coming into the year is Brock Bowers, where he had over 100 receptions. I don't know if he's going to do that again, even though he's got an upgraded quarterback from Aiden O'Connell and Minshew to Geno Smith this season, but that's how you maximize it. And I think I still made out okay considering that 6th round with the strategy. I waited for a back, but Trevion Henderson I like a lot. He's moving up draft boards, and Tyrone Tracy showed some flashes last season where he could be a decent running back. And now the final 0 RB strategy going into this one, 11th pick with this mock draft, and Puka Nacua fell to me. And all of a sudden now with the Stafford injury, Yahoo redid some of their rankings, and Puka Nacua, he was a top 8 total player, now ranked 15. And in my rankings, he's still number 8 is Puka Nacua. I know the injury could hurt this offense a little bit, but the Sean McVay offense, you don't need an amazing quarterback. As long as he gets the ball in the right places and these guys run their routes, which Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are great route runners, the numbers still will be pretty good. And I'm not saying top level like they are with Stafford, but still Puka Nacua to get him 11th overall, great grab. Brian Thomas, he had a monster season last year to get him in the second round, perfect where he fell. Then in the third round, Marvin Harrison. I think Marvin, he could have a nice year too after last season and was up and down rookie year. He bulked up in the offseason. Him and Kyler Murray working on rapport. So I went straight 3 receivers. Then fourth round, Jalen Hurts, great value in the fourth round. One of the best rushing quarterbacks in all the league. And obviously Jalen Hurts as well, he puts up those numbers pretty much weekly for fantasy owners. So in the fourth round, I think he's great value. TJ Hawkinson in the fifth maybe reached a little bit for him. And Laporta was here as well, but I think it's been close in the rankings between TJ Hawkinson and Sam Laporta this season. TJ Hawkinson, he's coming off, obviously, the ACL a couple years ago, and now the second season playing out of that injury. I think he'll be okay as Hawkinson and break out even with the youngster J.J. McCarthy, a young quarterback's security blanket and best friend is a tight end position. Then sixth round, Trevion Henderson luckily fell again to me in this one, where I think this guy, as the weeks go on and fantasy drafts approach closer, we might see Henderson go under the third, fourth round range when these rankings again get fixed up on these sites. And we see these websites every week or twice a week. The rankings get flipped and guys move up and down the board each week. So right now, Trevion Henderson in the sixth round, I think is great value, obviously, but I don't know if it's going to hold. Then seventh round, Jaylen Warren. I think Warren's still going to get decent work with Caleb Johnson, the rookie over there they drafted, is this Pittsburgh Steelers team. And Warren's still one of the better receiving backs, I believe, in all the NFL. Eighth round, Jacoby Myers, solid season last year with bad quarterback play, had 87 receptions. And now with Geno at the helm, and he's still the number one wideout, even though Bauer's the number one target in this offense, obviously. I like the pick in the eighth. Ninth round, Ramondre Stevenson. So I got the whole Pat backfield here. I think Stevenson, he's still going to get touches. He's not going to be totally phased out, where Henderson's more of an explosive third down back and in between the tackles when you need some big plays. But Stevenson, he signed an extension last season. They're still going to use him a decent amount, and this could be a 50-50 backfield. Then 10th round, Khalil Shakir, number one option in the passing game for this Bill team. He catches pretty much any pass that comes his way over the last couple seasons, and for a 10th round grab is solid, I think. Then Bashal Tutin, he's a lottery ticket type of pick where it could be a 3-man committee with ETN, obviously Tank Bigsby, and Tutin in the backfield for Jacksonville. But like I always say in these mocks and these breakdowns of these drafts, these young running backs, you take them in the later rounds and hope one of them pops like a Bucky Irvin did last season, where he was going 11th, 12th round and had a big season as a top 10 back. Then in the 12th round, Austin Eckler, him and Brian Robinson, obviously in a committee over there. He's the passing downs back, and third down back is Austin Eckler. But Austin Eckler last year, besides a couple concussions, I thought he was solid. And more weeks than not, he had double-digit fantasy points in PPR leagues. And to close it out, I got Christian Kirk, where Houston knows they need help in that receiving room. With Nico Collins, Higgins, and Kirk is the top 3 receivers. So the final roster, Jalen Hurts, Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Trevion Henderson, Jaylen Warren. And like I said, Henderson, I doubt he's going to fall to the 6th round as the weeks go on and drafts approach close in the next 2 or 3 weeks here. But if he can, that's just great value for a back like Trevion Henderson. But I just don't recommend this zero RB strategy. I want at least to get one running back in the first 4 or 5 rounds of my drafts. Then TJ Hawkinson, we'll see if he could be even healthy and have a good year this year. Marvin Harrison could have a bounce-back season. Jacoby Myers, Ramondre Stevenson, Khalil Shakir, Bashal Tutin, Austin Eckler, Christian Kirk. So obviously my teams, I balance them out. If you notice in these videos, I never take a backup quarterback unless I really wait till the end and get a veteran and a young quarterback in the drafts. But the zero RB strategy, I wouldn't recommend it, especially in leagues where it's only 2 wide receivers and a flex like you see here with a quarterback, a tight end, and 6 bench players. So zero RB strategy, I won't recommend it. RBs this season, it's a pretty deep position. And like I said, as long as you could get 1 or 2 in the first 5 rounds, I think that's good enough, and then you can work those other positions. This season, quarterback is very deep. I could wait. But like I said, just for this video purpose, you can obviously target a quarterback earlier if you can abandon the running back position and start taking your first back in the 6th round. So that's zero RB strategy entering the 2025 fantasy football season.